Bureau requests all people at Salmon Street Springs to move north and enter the fenced area at Tom McCall Waterfront Park.
All right, for those that are just tuning in, the police are giving an official announcement trying to get everybody to move north, to move them into this caged area. Now, right now, they've got both groups separated off. The anti-fascist side is across the street. There's a police barrack, a line of police officers blocking both sides. And you can see what I'm pointing at right here, through this fountain, is all of the Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys. And I'm moving back just to guys give you a starting, preliminary report. This fenced off area, right over here, this park, where you can see the barricades. This is where they want the event to take place. But the police are frisking everybody who tries to enter. I have a video that's going to be up in a little bit, around 4 p.m. Eastern time, where I did an interview with one of the Patriot Prayer members about why they're here, what they're doing. In the middle of that interview, the police came up and said, "We need to take your flag. We need to take your pole. It could be a weapon." And they got into a little calm argument where the man asked if it was legal, and the police said, we're going to take it, so they did. Following this, many people started rallying straight ahead, right along this barricade on the outside, and there's concern that some of them are concealed carrying, and that's why they don't want to go into, you can see the police straight ahead, they're searching bags and things like that. So while we were inside, the police actually asked people if they would consent to a search, and naturally many of these people laughed. And they refused for obvious reasons. So I'm here on the ground. For those that are just tuning in, you can follow me on Twitter at Timcast for any updates if the live stream goes down. Connection speed in Portland, absolutely remarkable. But if you want to help out my channel, there's the super chat where you can donate a small amount and that will make your comments appear above everybody else's. I try to read as many comments as possible. Admittedly, it is very easy to read super chat. It is much harder to read the general chat, but the super chat does help, so it's always appreciated, and I try to get as many as I can. Usually when I'm reporting, though, I'm not going to get to the comments. If you'd like to also help out, you can just share the stream on social media, and it's much more difficult for me to do because I have to, the stream might go down when I press the share button. But here we can see this is the Proud Boy Patriot Prayer side. Now, I'm being told by some people there will be no event in Berkeley. I don't know how true that is, but I know that Gavin McInnes, founder of the Proud Boys, has disavowed the Berkeley event with Patriot Prayer. And many people, a couple people that I've spoken with said they don't know if it's actually going to happen at all, because it was believed that Patriot Prayer would go.
It seems to be the prevailing system, but it's still not working. Just because it's prevailing doesn't mean it's working.
All right, so for those that are just watching right now, I'm going to make an attempt to share this on Twitter, and that might cause me some problems. We'll see what happens. Sometimes let me just what's that subreddit crappy design? YouTube, what are you doing? Why is it that when I try and share this, it takes the live stream down? That makes no sense. So thank you all for the super chat. Again, you can share this if you want to help support my channel and my stream. Subscribe for more videos. We got a drone in the air. I'm going to make my way around the south end to see if I can get a shot of Antifa on the other side. Admittedly, I have to be more careful around one group than the other. And as much as they like to make the claim that it's because I hang out with one group, it's actually not true. Ask any journalist. The people in black masks are more likely to destroy your equipment and attack you. That's just a fact. So we can see we've got a huge crew on the other side. Honestly, it looks much larger, the counter-protest.
Southwest NATO is closed. The pedestrian crossings are closed. Remain on the sidewalk.
So the police are keeping both groups separate. There was a point where the Patriot Prayer group started to actually walk across the street to the counter-protest, anti-fascist side. I don't know if I actually mentioned it, but you can give a thumbs up. That really helps. Actually, let me say this. I'm assuming that helps. I have no idea what giving a thumbs up does, but apparently it tells YouTube something. We have a dog skateboarding here. That's Portland for you. Oh, and he's got Woody riding the dog on the skateboard.
There's a crosswalk right behind you over there.
We got Mr. Luke Rutkowski reporting. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? No, just cops are trying to keep traffic moving as well. Again, they're really mad at people going back and forth.
They said to
people
go
are
down this
masking.
way.
Yeah, people are masking up over there. I don't know if we want to go walk through there. To be
Don't
honest with
mind
you.
if I encapsulate you in one photo before you guys do anything?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a
free country.
It's a free country. You can do whatever you want.
I don't
I
know.
just want to make sure because it sounded like you were going to go on the move. So I was like, never catch you snow.
I don't, you know, honestly, you've got, I would say, some extreme opinions over on this side. And I know a lot of people are going to get mad, but Tiny is literally wearing a Pinochet did nothing wrong shirt. You know, so
Yeah, that's a little bit.
that's a murderous dictator right there.
It's a little bit inflammatory, and that's what
Yeah.
we're seeing a lot from the right. A lot of inflammatory comments, but on the left, you're seeing a lot of reaction to those inflammatory comments, and those usually mean
It's not
sometimes violence.
But here's the thing. The media reports from left-wing media have been, in my opinion, so psychotically irresponsible and terrifying. It is my opinion that these writers know what they're doing. They know they're omitting key information, and what they write will lead people to violence, and it scares me that they do this.
Yeah, and they openly push an agenda and propaganda and lie and manipulate facts.
The Huffington Post wrote, and this is what they do, because this is true. Jeremy Christensen is his name, did show up to a Patriot Prayer rally, but was thrown out of the rally very quickly by Patriot Prayer. And that's an important fact for one reason. This side claims to be about free speech, and they've defended Tiny's Pinochet did nothing wrong shirt because it's free speech. But at the same time, the Patriot Prayer group threw out a guy who was yelling Nazi, slogans or whatever. So, where is it? When is it free speech? When isn't it? Apparently, if it's someone attacking communists, they're okay with it. To me, that's hypocritical. But that's a fair thing to point out. What the Huffington Post did is they made it seem like he was a member of their rallies, like they were okay with what he was doing. That way, when they write about how he murders people, they say in the article, I believe it's a quote, that if these protesters don't show up, what happened with Jeremy Christensen will happen again with Patriot Prayer, and that is absolutely disingenuous. It is dishonest. But this is how they do it. They use the truth in a way where certain information is omitted, and these people out here have good intentions, 100%. They think they're confronting actual Nazis. They think that if they don't come, people like Jeremy Christensen will emerge from this crowd and murder people. And it's because of irresponsible partisan activist reporting. And that is absolutely total, yes. I would be willing to bet a large sum of money that if these protesters never showed up, this group would wander around aimlessly, after a few hours go find some bars, get drunk, and then go home.
I bet if you take both of these protesters, take away all the plaid armor and all the flags and all the masks, you sit them down at a bar, you put some beers down, and you're like, government, do you like it or not? And then everyone's gonna be like, no, fuck the government, I hate the government. And then it's like, that's all we can agree on. And here,
there was an anti-fascist guy inside the event earlier, but he was not like a Trump derangement syndrome kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he was saying, why can't we all, we disagree, but we all love our country, right? And they were like, yes. And he's like, okay, so how come we can't sit down and have a conversation about how to fix it, even though we're on different ends of the spectrum? And they were like, we want to do that, but they don't want to do that. And I'm like, I would believe. I've tried to interview these people. When I got here, the first thing I tried doing was going to lefties and being like, hey, are you around to do a quick interview? And they all said no.
Yeah.
It was only a couple people. It wasn't like I was asking the world. But obviously, when I ask people on the right, they're like, when can I come do the interview? They're like, they really want to do it. However, these people across the street think part of their rhetoric and what they believe is that these people on the right won't have a conversation with them. There really is this wall that divides both sides where they don't believe it's possible to have a conversation.
well, a lot of fear, a lot of manipulation,
Yeah.
a lot of tactics that don't really work in the benefit of anyone, but the people just trying to divide and conquer people. And I tried to talk to a lot of people on over there on that
My
side
phone's
as well.
going to overheat.
And no, they didn't.
Let's
want
go
to
I need to go in the shade.
People
Yeah.
definitely do want to talk.
Hey man, I see you got Temple.
Oh, hey, how's it going, man?
Stage Wonder from YouTube.
Hey. Oh, nice
Hello, man.
to
Good
meet
see
you. Likewise.
Yeah.
I just go in the
Like you,
shade
just out here
because-
to watch the spectacle. I got involved in though. I got mouthy. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on and why.
You're real.
Yeah,
You're my YouTube heroes, and you're both real.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
thank you very much.
I kind of just feel like a guy who just goes somewhere and talks about what's happening.
Yeah.
It's so weird because people ask me about journalism. I'm like, I don't know, man. I went to Portland and stood around. I
Right.
doesn't really feel all
I
that
had my
special.
phone aimed at what was happening.
Well,
there.
I lived a lifetime dream. I'm an armchair warrior, and I've never come after these things. And I built my channel kind of around exposing Antifa because I had some friends that joined. But I came out here not thinking I was going to get all involved, but I lived a bucket list moment because whenever they do the rhyming chants, Antifa does,
Yeah.
hey, yo. When they have those breaks at home on the couch, I yell, "You're a communist!" You're a communist. And so today I got to do it. I stood in the middle of them, and every time they did, I jumped in the air and went, "You're a communist."
My thing is, I don't.
Like me.
I don't care if they want to be communists. I care if they...
I do, because communism is against everything the United States stands for. That communists should not be allowed to have a party or a vote in this country, because it's the one thing that violates the Constitution in its nature from its core.
Implementing communism.
Well,
but
so
to come out, be communist to speak, the problem is they get violent. People, you know, I say this to a lot of people, they ask me...
Well, the problem is communism has to be violent. I mean, that's their only recourse.
There's no way to implement that kind of system.
100 million dead people.
Yeah. You can't implement these huge changes to an economy where everyone homogenizes without pointing a gun in someone's head.
It's the opposite of freedom. Communism is the opposite of freedom.
But the problem is, look, I think it was Ron Paul who said this. He said something like, what proof that socialism doesn't work is the fact that in the United States, you have the freedom to be socialist and go create your little socialist community, and no one's done it. And the question is why.
As long as you don't violate the Constitution, which is another reason I came down here today, is to protest the Portland Police's draconian laws against open carry. This is an open carry state, but they've got a city ordinance that says you can't carry in the park, even a pocket knife. I can't even carry my cane in the park.
Oh, wow.
It could be used as a weapon.
You can't bring your cane?
Well, this is what I'm hearing from the chief of police on the news today. Anything that can be used as a weapon, could be, your stick would not be allowed.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Look at Luke's brought a weapon. What are you doing, Luke?
I'm prepared.
So the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the most liberal court in the land, just ruled rather on Young versus the state of Hawaii, that we have the constitutional right to not just own guns, but carry them around.
Yeah.
The bearing
Chicago
arms
had to deal with that.
Is what the Second Amendment means. So the Oregon, the Portland Police Department, the Portland lawmakers are in total violation of the United States Constitution, and they have to be told that. And the thing is, they're all coming down. All of these laws are coming down because of the Ninth Circuit's decision.
You know what the thing is? If I go to that side, you're not allowed to film.
We filmed. We got over there. We filmed.
But what I mean is, among that community, you're not allowed. In the United States, you're allowed to film in public. I can walk around and point whoever I want. Some people might get angry, like, why are you filming me? I can walk around all over here on this side, and people are like, what are you filming for? Can I talk? I go on that side, and they're like, stop filming. What are you doing? You have no permission. And I've been attacked by these people for years at these events. And then they get angry that I'm interviewing. Go over there, and not all of them. I think there's some people over there who are totally chill, but
a young guy, this wasn't really gun law from 2008. I'm history. I'm talking about this Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decision from 2 weeks ago. 3 times in the last month, they've upheld our rights.
Oh, I'm getting lag. I gotta move. Sorry, man. Hey, it was good talking.
Nice meeting you guys.
What are you doing, Luke? You're gonna walk around, or I'm gonna try and find a better spot.
I'm taking a fruit break as the discussion happens, because you got to take breaks when you can.
What is that? You're eating a fruit?
No.
You're eating chocolate.
This is egg white, hazelnut, cashew, dates, no BS protein bar.
And you were just having a cigarette. That's a great meal you got going on.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Hey man, I quit smoking.
All right, man. I'll be around. So let's walk around and see what's going on. I just gotta make sure I don't go in the sun for too long because the phone will overheat. This is why I usually buy lighter cases like gray or white because they reflect sunlight. Standing in the sun too long and this thing goes down.
We accommodate all kinds. We accommodate fascists who have person excellent.
So another thing too, I don't know if you guys want to see what things look like from my perspective. It's like this. How's it going, man? Hey, nice to meet you.
Shit, I'm a huge fan.
Hey, man. How's it going? Nice to meet you. This is about how tall I am. I'm holding the camera up to my eyes. Normally I hold it a little bit lower. How's it going, man?
All right, good to see you.
Likewise. Hey. So I'm gonna walk back here because things are pretty chill. The event's supposed to start officially at noon, and I want to make sure my bandwidth stays good. Is good the right word? Good. Oh, we got some protesters behind them. Let's see if they want to talk. They'll probably get mad that I'm walking up with a camera though. There's a big sign that says Patriot Prayer. Prayer is crossed out. It says error, and then we got Patriot Prayer is ruining America. So, because of typically how people on the left are with cameras. I'm going to point the camera down before I ask if somebody wants to talk.
Hey, Tim, do you wear a beanie because you're afraid that, people are going to think you're weird because you're bald? That's a good
No, I just skate kind of culture.
Really hot outside. It just seems like wearing a beanie is not a good look.
Skateboarders? Like
this
if
is
you go
the
to...
dude that used to work for Vice, and now he hangs out with Nazis and considers himself a journalist.
What, who do I hang out with as a Nazi?
There's fucking photos on the internet, guy. You know it.
Like of which? Like of what?
Well, I don't know. They're Nazi fucking
Then why
names.
are you telling people that hang out with Nazis if you don't even know who these
You
people
hang
are?
out with Nazis. There's
I
photos
don't.
of it on the internet.
I
You're
don't.
sitting in the back like, oh, I hope I'm not in this photo, but you fucking are, Tim.
You mean like when I interviewed people?
Oh, at a bar, sitting around hanging
Yes.
out with them?
Are you
No,
serious?
you're not a fucking real journalist.
So
Take your bald ass out of here,
do you
Tim.
take issue with Vice going to?
I take issue with fucking you, because
you
you're a
take-
fucking fake piece of shit.
You take issue with Vice going to the hotel
I
room with
take-
neo-Nazis?
Issue with you, because you're a fake piece of shit.
You have to explain that, man.
No, I don't.
And why would you say that? You don't.
Fuck off. You're the one that came over here.
I know you guys are protesting in public.
Fuck off.
You guys are protesting
Fuck
in
off,
public.
Tim.
Why?
All you do is go to rallies for money, you fucking sad
I
piece
don't.
of shit.
I haven't been to a rally in a long time.
Tim Pool?
Yeah.
Oh, what up? I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Joe.
Look at this guy.
Like you don't even know who I am, dude. What? You don't even know who I am. Then why you hate me?
Get your fucking
Why
Mad
do you-
Max
why-
fucking goggles the fuck out of here.
He's a cool dude.
Why do you hate me? You don't even know who I am. How can you
He's a
hate someone you don't
fucking sad-
know?
He's a sad dude that thought he was a journalist, and now he just goes out with white supremacists.
Why do you hate someone you don't know?
He asks people questions.
No, he doesn't.
What?
Fuck that.
I don't hate you, dude. I came over to see what you guys were all about. You started yelling at me.
No, you don't. You know what you're here for, man.
What am I here for?
So, like, fucking pretend that you're a journalist, but you're
How
not.
do I pretend to be a journalist by coming in to ask you guys what you're doing?
You
You don't even know me. Why would you say that?
Fuck off, Tim.
I'm Steve.
This guy started yelling at me, bro. I came over to see what's up and he insulted me and told me to fuck me.
Why are you upset?
Because Proud Boys are
Dude.
fucking racist pieces of shit.
I have mad respect for what you guys are doing. I have mad respect for you coming out here and standing up to the people you disagree with. I have mad respect for you as a human being, and I believe you have every right to do what you do. And these people shouldn't say anything wrong to you. They shouldn't attack you. They shouldn't intimidate
I don't give
you.
a shit.
I don't understand why this guy's yelling. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good for you.
I don't understand why
Good
you
for
would
you,
yell at me
dog.
if you never met me before.
Congratulations.
bad people, I guess.
Yeah, you're the bad people. Yeah. Yeah, your fucking Proud Boy friends come up and protect
Do you
the
know what
hate
Nazi
street
means?
teachers.
Do you even know what it means? You know what it's an acronym? Is that how you spell it? No, that's not what it means.
It's a fucking shorthand for all the white
Solidarity movement.
supremacist pieces of shit that you guys support. Fuck off.
That's not
Fuck
true.
off.
It's just not true.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Okay.
Fuck off.
All right.
I mean,
Go back to your piss boy group.
Well, the best part about it is like you don't get to draw a line anywhere in the fucking
48 contiguous states.
Oh, but Hawaii and Alaska are okay?
Well, I was just saying because
Oh, I get it.
where
Fuck
we're
off.
at,
Fuck off.
continental.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Okay. Well,
Why are you so mean, dude?
I'm just making sure he's all right.
He's fine. He's out here banging for his money online like every other asshole.
I don't know why you're so
make
mean
nothing.
then.
I
Why are you
took a
being
day
mean,
off
bro?
today.
Good for you.
You know.
I don't understand why you guys are okay with this guy being so mean. Like, I said nothing to you guys. I said nothing but respect for everything you're doing. And look what he's doing. Is that okay? You guys agree with that?
He didn't even talk to you, man.
But you don't know who I am.
Didn't even talk to you.
He doesn't have to talk to me. But I don't understand why you guys are okay with people being so divisive and hateful.
Why you trying to talk to people who don't want to fucking talk to you, huh?
Because I want to meet people I never met before,
actually am
right?
curious because you do have a sticker, so I mean, you obviously been to
Fuck off.
whatever it looks
And
like.
I don't
a
have
meeting
to.
or whatever. What's the end outcome
Right?
Why are you
of
still trying to
the anti-fascist movement?
These guys are
What's
still
your
talking. He's still talking.
Go online, read
You just
some
asked me a
shit. I'm not
question.
here to talk to you
I
about
mean, have you ever read Lenin?
I'll stop talking to you.
You know Mao Zedong. I mean, do you look at anything that the communist doctrine has
So
ever
you
done?
assume I'm a communist?
Well, I mean, you would think by the
Nazis are over there. Why don't you go?
Yeah, go hang out with your fucking fascist friends.
about Stalinists or people that approve communist doctrine. That doesn't have a play.
You know most anti-fascists are anarchists?
You know, most anti-fascists are.
how does anarchy work out?
Dude, go back to your mom's house. Fuck off.
No.
You know what the best part is? You know I ain't got a mom's house, right? You know, center line, you know, me and you, right?
Hey, sorry. Would you guys want to talk about why you're protesting? You mind if I film you?
Sure.
It's okay. So yeah, you got a sign that says Patriot error.
Yes.
Do you want to just tell me what you think? And
Oh, I just think the organization behind Patriot Prayer isn't really
united to be fighting against a clear enough agenda and isn't making the progress that it tends to make. I'm all for, you know, being a patriot myself as well, but I just don't think the Patriot Prayer organization is doing it in the right way that's actually going to be effective and make progress.
What do you think? Like, what do you think they're actually trying to accomplish?
Well, they claim to be about freedom, and I think free speech was the other big talking point. But to me, it's not specific enough. Just a bit too broad, and it ends up going down other rabbit holes of policy that I think a lot of people tend to disagree with here. Which is why we're counter-protesting.
Are you concerned at all about, I don't know, violence or anything? Because the police have separated the two.
It's about to happen right now. Yes, I am concerned.
Yeah. I just don't understand why there's got to be this kind of fighting.
Well, I think these guys told these guys to fuck off, and they still just want to keep talking.
Personally, I think, you know, one of the biggest problems is I got mad respect for you. I don't want to shake your hand in case anybody gets angry, but I want to thank you for talking to me. Because I'm certainly not with anybody, and I just wanted to see what you guys had to say. It's really easy to walk up to Patriot Prayer.
You're on the fence. You're not with any side.
I would say I actually lean away from the right. Like my personal politics are social liberal, so like Bernie Sanders is my candidate, though like the obvious DNC things that happened, and you know what I mean. I really like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's platform, though I think some of her rhetoric isn't. I don't know how to describe it. I disagree with a lot of what she says, but she's closer to where I would agree with. So the problem is, you know, I see you guys are protesting here. If I walk up to the Patriot Prayer guys, they'll talk for 3 hours. As soon as I walked over, this guy started just insulting me and attacking me. I don't even know who he is.
He knows you, so
he doesn't know me, right?
Well, maybe not personally.
So I did.
What you've done in the past in the media.
I did an interview with some guys in the alt-right in Portland, and what they do is they circulate this photo and make it seem like I'm friends with them. But I mean, like Vice. I used to work for Vice.
Okay.
Vice literally went to the hotel room of neo-Nazis and like overnight. Yeah, so I started Vice News. And I left and went to work for Fusion, where I produced a bunch of documentaries on like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And now, for whatever reason, I do the exact same thing I've done before.
Hey guys, keep it cool, guys. Keep it cool. Keep it cool, guys.
Realize you touch him and you've already committed a felony. No, he has not touched you. If you touch him, you commit a felony. You're a fucking moron. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be the better man.
Bye.
Everybody give a round of applause to the better man. Congratulations. See now it's like I'm a bitch if I lose. Find a way, buddy. Find a way.
Back over there with his fucking Nazi friend.
See, I actually.
All right, man. Hey, stay safe. Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Take care. So that's really interesting how, you know, some of those protesters are like, I'll talk to you. I don't know who you are. No problem. But one guy starts yelling and his friend immediately just joins in, doesn't even know who I am. And I could tell for a second, you know, he was willing to listen. I was like, dude, I got mad respect for you coming out here protesting. I got no beef. And he kind of had this look on his face like, to me, how's it going, man? Yeah. Hey, sorry, man.
Oh, sorry.
Stream.
I watch your shit.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. But, you know, it comes on a tribalism that it's weird that half that group was willing to be like, hey, you know, stay safe. They were talking to me. Anybody who's willing to stand up for their right to speak out in opposition of some, you know, politics or whatever, hey, dude, awesome. Mad respect. You've got a bunch of people here. You know, there's people concerned about violence. You want to come here with a big sign that says, you know, Patriot Prayer era, and you think they're ruining America? I got respect for that. It takes guts to come out on the streets and actually, you know, engage in this way. I don't have respect for people who are just going to try and shut you down and start a fight for no reason. And that's what we just saw. You know, when one of those guys walked up to that dude, he got in his face. That's just so it's kind of sad that you actually have a couple people over there willing to talk to me, tell me what's up, and then you know, wish me good luck. But there are some people that just want to like kind of tank the pool. How's it going, man? Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
So we just saw a huge crowd walk through.
Right here supporting our friend Junkin.
Yeah, so for those that aren't familiar with my politics, on my second channel, I've gone into like great detail about this. I made like a half-an-hour long video about how I don't like socialism, but I am not a laissez-faire capitalist, right? I think the appropriate term is Keynesian. I'm also not an economy expert, but I would align myself as social liberal. You know, so it's a little bit to the right of Bernie Sanders. I like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but her like federal jobs guarantee, college for all, that's too much. But the thing that I do like about her, for one, I really like seeing the establishment politicians outed. So there was a cathartic release seeing that, you know, 14-year guy outed. I am concerned that people like Cortez are so far left with their positions, it's actually going to taint the left. But at the same time, as many of you probably know, I'm center-left, so I'm pretty centrist. Social liberals, you know, it's like a center-left libertarian position. And that's what really bothers me, is that I can walk over to a guy and he's gonna accuse me of being friends with people for interviewing him. He's like, you're gonna interview him at a bar? And I'm like, yes, like, what do you mean? Literally where you go to do it. So it looks like this crowd across the street, much, much bigger.
Look at the solid left. Look at your attack people. You guys have...
So I see somebody mention that libertarian is not liberal social. And I'm talking about the political compass, in which case there is the top-down authoritarian libertarian spectrum, right? So center-left libertarian means that we need communal decision-making. It means that some things happen outside the market in terms of social contract. The further you are to the right on the libertarian spectrum, you're more for letting the market dictate what should or should not be. With looser, right? So the further you go to the right, the less government there is, and the freer the markets there is. And the further you go to the left, the more mutual decision making there is. There is a bit of a paradox when it comes to the far libertarian left, in that it doesn't necessarily work. And this is true for the entire political compass, you know. But on the political compass spectrum, bottom left quadrant, it's basically like no rule should be imposed on anybody without their consent. And there is a threshold, right? I understand that sometimes we're going to have votes, and some people are going to lose that vote. And so it is a very huge conundrum. As much as I would probably align in terms of, you know, small government and libertarian right, the problem I think is, personally, I don't think the market can answer every problem, especially as things evolve. Hey. Oh, nice to meet you. I don't have any on me. You want to punch in my number without saying it?
Yes.
I gave out my phone number on a stream once. It didn't work out well.
I'm with you.
Oh, no, I can't say it. Nope, I live on the East Coast. Yeah. Yeah, but... Yeah. What's your name? Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, yeah, good luck. Yeah, I feel good. I know.
Anyways, stay back.
Yeah. Well, just shoot me a message, yeah. Yeah, later.
Yeah, they get pretty bushy.
So make sure you subscribe, and if you want to better understand why the group is here, I can't guarantee you this really great comprehensive interview with the leaders of Patriot Prayer, though I have interviewed Joey in the past, but I did interview one of the Patriot Prayer members, and that'll be live at 4 p.m. Eastern. So it's like 17 minutes long. In the middle of the interview, the police actually come in and confiscate flagpoles. So, you know, I always want to make sure I have some kind of video live for everybody to watch, even if I'm on the ground reporting. So that's what I have up. Hopefully it works. I did it all from my phone. You know, it is what it is. It's hard to know exactly what's going to happen. I feel like the police have done a pretty decent job in maintaining a divide. Now, here's the silly, really, this is interesting to me. This needs to be pointed out. I hope you all are watching this. We've got this guy here. The sign says, "Kill all jocks." It says, "F you, jock terrorists." It's got a rainbow flag. There's nobody here physically harming this person. They're just dancing around, counter-protesting Patriot Prayer in the Patriot Prayer side. I'd have to imagine that would never be possible. If someone from Patriot Prayer crosses that street, I would say it's a safe bet they will be attacked. Hands down. But we can see that there's actually been a few counter protesters. So aside from the men in the fountain, on the Patriot Prayer side, you actually do have in the back, Patriot Prayer is ruining America signs. Patriot Error is one of the signs. Now, one of those guys did try to start a fight, which is rather unfortunate, but I was able to talk to a couple of them. It's sad that it's so tribalistic that I could, look, if I walk up to anybody on the Patriot Prayer side, I could walk right with the camera and say, hey, what are you doing? And they'll just start talking. No problem. In fact, so many people associated with the right want to have a conversation. But the left, whatever, there's just too many people who would shut you down and try and fight you. And that's what we just saw. We saw, two guys almost went at it. One of the guys was willing to talk to me, though, so I'm very grateful that he was willing to say what he wanted to say. It's shocking to me that I can stand there and say, I've got mad respect for you for coming out here. You have a right to do this. Nobody should intimidate you, try and shut you down. And the guy can still tell me to fuck you. That's messed up. That is absolutely messed up, man. And that's what worries me about what's going on. Because you've got these people over here, Patriot Prayer, who are going to come out no matter what. They're going to stand up for what they believe in. And Antifa will do the same thing, but the difference is, these people, you can argue they're coming into Portland, but there's even counter-protesters in this side that have no problem, are not being attacked, not being intimidated, not being yelled at or anything like that. So I'd love for someone to explain that to me. Why we see so much in that the narrative is that these people are the aggressors that want to start violence, when you can actually have this guy in the middle of the Patriot Prayer side dancing around, saying, F you all. Not only that, saying, kill all jocks. Nobody cares. They're just taking pictures. They actually enjoy it. Look at this guy's getting a photo. He's laughing about it. Well, I'll say this. Somebody mentioned that Patriot Prayer are normal Republicans. The person I interviewed, I asked him if he thinks white people should be able to make their own country for themselves, and he agreed that in some places it does make sense, right? And so that's actually the argument from the left. It's not really a mainstream Republican position that certain countries should be allowed to be ethnically homogenous. I'm fairly certain most Americans are of the opinion that there's an extent of diversity that is good. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure mainstream Republicans are totally for legal immigration and don't mind that, don't mind race mixing and all that stuff and oppose racism. So, I can't say that guy represents the entirety of Patriot Prayer, of course not, but there is at least one. And so, when you hear things like that, people start to believe that it will reflect the entirety. And I don't know what else you can do about it. If there are people who believe that, then it is what it is.
I really hope it's not.
So for those that are watching, if you want to support the stream, you can hop in the super chat. And in just a second, I'm going to pop over and read the super chats from earlier. And any donation puts your chat above everybody else's. It's greatly appreciated. Helps support my work. So let me ask you a question. There's a guy on this side in the fountain protesting Patriot Prayer, presumably, right?
Yeah.
Saying, kill all jocks or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a group behind them holding up a sign saying Patriot Error, Patriot Prayer is ruining America. And so I'm curious as to why counter-protesters on this side are totally safe and having no problems, yet no one can go on that side. There's people wearing all black mask goggles, and if you walked over there, the place had to separate the groups, right?
Yeah. Because these guys don't actually want violence. I don't think that's what they actually want. The Proud Boys. I can't speak for them, but
I would assume some of them do, but aren't willing to instigate it. You know what I mean? They want to fight,
right?
But they won't start the fight.
They're not going to start anything. No.
Although I do believe there have been instances where they have. I don't think anybody's perfect. I think it would be silly to assume they don't.
Yeah.
But I see these counter-protesters. No one's bothering them.
Yeah.
Yet over there we've got black masks, sunglasses, aimed over here.
That's true.
I should say I'm being presumptuous because they haven't attacked anybody as far as I know, but also that no one's over there, and the police won't allow them to go over there either.
Right.
In fact, I don't even think I could go over there and have nothing to do with these people.
I think we can if we kind of go way down there.
No, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure if you went over there,
right,
they'd hit you.
Yeah, true.
That's worrisome to me. Some drones in the sky. I see someone in the chat asking how long until mortars are fired. Somebody yelled at me for saying that last time because it said the correct term is mortar shell or artillery shell. So, okay, I apologize, factually incorrect. Mortar shell. I don't think it'll happen so long as the police are here and everything's separated. But there will come a point at which the police probably leave and everyone has to go, and it will not be pretty. But again, this side we're on is mixed. While Patriot Prayer is predominantly right here, you actually have many left-wing anti-Patriot Prayer people on this side of the street with no problem, absolutely none. So I have to wonder what's going on. I mean, seriously, if you can have counter-protesters on this side being totally fine. I mean, look, you've got clowns, music playing. You've got, well, I think the sign says, all my heroes punch Nazis. You know, they're out here protesting Patriot Prayer, obviously, with no problems. There's nobody bothering any of these people at all. I have to wonder if anybody in the mainstream media watches this live stream, or, you know, they used to follow me when I covered Occupy, but I guess the political landscape has shifted so much that people have kind of gone off the rails. But I suppose something has to be said when you can have, you know, all my heroes punch Nazis sign and music playing and clowns dancing and people saying kill all jocks. And you even got people back here with signs saying Patriot Error. No problem. None at all. Patriot Prayer is not confronting them, antagonizing, instigating. So how do you know, why? Why is that? I don't see anybody from Patriot Prayer coming over and bashing this sign or getting angry about it. In fact, I'm pretty sure all the people over here agree with the, you know, not being okay with Nazis thing. I will say though, Tiny, I don't know his last name, but one of the Patriot Prayer guys is wearing a Pinochet did nothing wrong shirt. So it becomes particularly difficult to have the moral high ground when you condemn a dictator but praise a dictator, even if you're trying to be funny. These people are going to see that and say, see, that's authoritarian fascism, that's Pinochet. He was, I believe, I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, someone correct me, but he was a far-right dictator who killed communists. Threw them out of helicopters. The police have just announced people who don't comply with their requests will be